In the ebook collection Rethinking the Music Business, B. Daga says, digital technology has led to remarkable transformations in the Indian music industry. The country's rapid digitalization since 2015 has created a thriving digital ecosystem in India. The circumstances have enabled a whole new music industry to emerge alongside Bollywood. The independent music industry has grown in less than a decade in India. Mk.gee, G, Shmuk 2022. The telephone booth and the vision. The telephone booth is a collaborative project born of awkward unique corridor greetings and moments that eventually turn into sound and voice. The band blends lush, expansive textures of the 1975 with vocal influences drawn from the theatrical edge of David Bowie and Michael Jackson. We love turning our guitars up loud, leaning into blues-soaked rock energy, but we are just as comfortable switching gears. Our sound can drift into a more laid-back, atmospheric R&B space inspired by artists like Dijon and Mk.gee, where textures and feeling take the lead. Working quietly behind the scenes, we have been shaping a sound designed to fully immerse listeners from the first beat. The telephone booth is ready to be heard. We are entering the music business's next era, one that will be defined by factors such as artist empowerment, fandom, global culture, independence, amplification, creation, fragmentation, and agility. One of the driving forces in this period will be the continued rise of the independent artist. In fact, we expect the role of the artist to be so impactful that we are calling this next era the age of the artist. Mulligan, 2020. Johnny Amos said in his book, The Music Business for Creators, imagine working for a company where you have no contract. The company has no boss, no rules, no agreements between staff members, and no corporate structure. And you have no idea what will happen to you if the company goes into liquidation. That is no different from being in a band that has no interband agreement. Amos 2021. Meaning that role dispersal is the key element which separates successful bands/businesses from an unsuccessful one. Which brings me to the theme and the importance of role dispersal. You may be surprised to learn that taking care of business actually involves creativity and is not quite as boring as you may believe. Ask rocker Mick Jagger and rapper Ludacris, both business school graduates. In fact, your band may well enjoy the power that comes with understanding how to run a business. And to do it successfully, this doesn't mean that your band must micromanage every detail of its business. As your band develops, you will delegate power and responsibilities. STEM 2021. On the left, we have Siddharth Singh, the frontman and vocalist for the telephone booth, and on the right, we have Joshua Vincent, second frontman and second lead vocalist for the band. On the left is Casper Eichelberger, the producer, keys player, and third vocalist for the telephone booth. On the right, that's me, Porus Srivastava, lead guitar player for the telephone booth. Rhythm section. On the left is Andrew, who is the bass player for the telephone booth, and on the right is Renata, who is the drummer for the telephone booth and the fourth vocalist of the band. Being in a band can be very special. Often there is a synergy between members of a band that creates something unique. whether on stage or in the studio, that can't be replicated by even the most advanced technologies. There is a sense of fraternity among a collective that experience so much together. It is a bond, it is a band, but it is also business. For a business to operate successfully, it needs to have a market. It needs to know how to reach that market. And even more importantly, it needs to know how to handle that market when it is reached. A band is no different. It might feel different because it does not require a formal uniform or the need to turn up at 9 a.m. on a Monday. It feels much more important than that. It feels, in fact, more like the exact opposite of that. And in some ways, it is. However, when it comes to making a living from the work that is done, it is actually quite comparable. Amos 2021. Getting up on 9 a.m. On a Monday because you are in a band, that definitely is my reality. So I don't know what Amos was talking about there, but we get the idea.